What's up, game enthusiasts across all of YouTube? Welcome to this week's gaming news roundup, where I, your host Christian, is gonna speed run you through this week's gaming announcements, rumors, and overall chaos. If you like this video, remember to like the video, consider subscribing so you could stay in the know of all things gaming related. Now, let's kick things off hot with Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo's Big Daddy game, the game that everyone's been anticipating since Breath of the Wild release. We wanted the sequel, essentially. So here we are, officially release day of probably Nintendo's greatest game of the Nintendo Switch console, arguably game of the year for the year 2023. Let's freaking go. The game is out, and there's something different in the air with Nintendo. I think right now everyone in the gaming community is just super excited, super happy. I feel like there's just some kind of positivity that only comes when Nintendo drops a banger like Tears of the Kingdom. The game is currently sitting at a 96 metacritic, which makes it the highest rated game of 2023 and sits it right there next to Breath of the Wild, shoo-in for game of the year. Still early in the year, but I mean, it is just definitely the game to beat. It's Zelda's year to lose at this point, and I'm just really excited. I'm going to be playing this game tons throughout the year. I'm definitely not going to be trying to rush through it. I'm just going to be enjoying it throughout this year, maybe even till next year. God knows how long I'm going to be playing this game, but I'm definitely excited to try it out. When it comes to Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like I've just been on like a roller coaster of emotions, essentially. From the announcement, I was super hyped, definitely ready for it. Then I kind of not really lost interest, but kind of forgot about it over time. And then, like, pretty much since last year, the anticipation has been ramping up and ramping up. And I feel like what I've been trying to do is just forget about it, try to ignore it, take in all the information that Nintendo gives out, avoiding all the leaks, juking left and right from any kind of spoilers. And now I don't think I could hold in my excitement anymore. I'm just ready to get my hands on this game. But yeah, it's just definitely a super exciting time right now to be a Nintendo fan, to be a fan of video games in general. And I don't know, let's see if any other game this year can kind of match Tears of the Kingdom as far as like fun gameplay goes. Alright, switching over to more of the like business side of Nintendo. If you were anticipating a Nintendo Switch 2 this year, it's just not happening. Bloomberg reported that Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa explained to his investors during an investor presentation that pretty much do not expect a successor to the Switch this year, that they're going to be kind of chugging along with the current Switch they have. He did mention that they're kind of losing momentum with the current Switch, but that they still have no plans to release the next Switch as far as this fiscal year is concerned. But that does not mean that we're still not inching closer to the Nintendo Switch. I still believe that after this fiscal year is over, they're definitely going to be releasing Nintendo Switch 2 sometime in the summer of next year, maybe fall. But we're definitely going to see an announcement sometime maybe end of this year or early next year. I mean, like, let's just face it. The Nintendo Switch is an old console. It's old hardware by this point. And Tears of the Kingdom is going to keep them going for a good minute. But how much longer after that you think you can really hold up the Nintendo Switch hardware? It's time to move on. And I feel like with momentum slowing in the sales of the console, now would be the perfect time to make kind of a clean transition to the next successor to the Switch. That way you don't have kind of like a Wii situation where you held on a little too long and then you move over into the next console kind of on an up instead of on the down. Alright, moving over to the PlayStation side of everything. According to a tweet by Mr. Jeff Grubbs, he states that we should be expecting a new PlayStation showcase on the week of May 25th. A lot of people were giving him pushback that the week of 25th is weird because the 25th is a Thursday. He did go on further in another tweet saying that he said week of 25th because that's the latest in the week that he anticipates a showcase happening, but it could be sometime before then, but it's definitely going to be that week, so probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday that week. I'm betting he knows it's May 25th, and he's just kind of covering his ground in case it doesn't happen on May 25th. So May 25th, I have it in the calendar. Anyways, as far as what we can expect from this showcase, it's a little interesting because I feel like a lot of PlayStation studios haven't really announced what they're working on yet. There's just been some rumors and some speculations. So I'd be really excited to see what everyone's working on. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what I personally expect. There is a video on the channel detailing what I feel like is going to be in this PlayStation showcase. Definitely give it a look if you guys get the chance. I'm going to have the link in the description down below. And with that, let's move on to the next topic. Something that I think is really cool and really interesting that PlayStation is doing is they're starting something called the India Hero Project. And I feel like this is something PlayStation does a lot, where they like to invest in kind of smaller developers and kind of like help bolster them up a little bit. So that way they can kind of like grow some more talent within the gaming community, and then hopefully some of those kind of transition their way into first party. So what this new initiative does is they're essentially bolstering and supporting indie developers in India. That way we can kind of just get some kind of new, fresh ideas into the gaming space. And I'm very excited whenever PlayStation does things like this. Because again, maybe one of these indie developers is going to create the next Hollow Knight or the next Shovel Knight. Something crazy that we're not really expecting, or that is just super polished. And I'm really excited to see what comes out of this. It's the month of May, and you know what that means. PlayStation likes to give us a bevy of new titles to the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium tier lists. So the games that are getting added to the lists include Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Humanity, Watch Dogs Legion, Dishonored 2, Dishonored Death of the Outsider, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Bus Simulator 21, Evil Within 2, The Wolfenstein Youngblood, Thamisia, Rain World, Lake, Conan Exiles, Rune Factory 4, Story of Seasons, and Soundfall. That is a huge list of some pretty good titles and then some kind of lackluster titles, but the big game is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. I'm very excited because this is a game that I haven't actually picked up or played yet, and it's a game that I really wanted to. It just kind of like fell on the wayside. So I'm very excited to have it finally in the PlayStation subscription service. I'm definitely going to give it a shot. I grew up loving Ratchet & Clank. A Cracked in Time was definitely one of my favorite games during like the PS3 era. Besides that, another noticeable mention is Humanity. This is a game dropping day and date on the PlayStation Plus subscription service, and it's a game that I personally am not very interested in. But the fact that I'm getting it for free, I'm definitely going to try out. I've been kind of hit or miss on a lot of these free day and date games that come to PlayStation Plus subscription. Loved Stray, but since Stray, I kind of haven't really messed with a lot of these newer ones. Like Chia wasn't for me. Meet Your Maker I wasn't really a big fan of. Here's hoping Humanity is a good one. Alright, moving over to the big green machine, the Team Xbox. The ESRB rating for Starfield has been released online, and it is rated M. This is either good news if you really like mature rated games, or it's bad news if you're not a big fan of like microtransactions. The ESRB rating said that the game includes things like drugs, in-game purchases, and sex. So I'm not exactly sure what's gonna be in this game for sure. I don't hate microtransactions in games, especially if you have Game Pass, you're already gonna be getting the game. So they have to find like extra ways to kind of monetize it. I get that part. When it comes to drugs and sex in this fictional world, I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but it is Bethesda and they do like to do things kind of crazy off the wall. So hey, let's see what happens, man. Capcom announced an open beta for Street Fighter 6 from May 19th to May 22nd. If you haven't had a chance to play online Street Fighter 6, hop into this open beta, give it a shot. I've been pushing for people to play Street Fighter 6 since I played the closed beta last time, and I'm very excited to play another beta. I had a blast last time. I'm definitely going to be checking this one out again. Alright, moving on to some expected but kind of sad news. Hollow Knight SIlksong has been delayed without a date in sight anymore. Last year they did kind of mention during the Xbox showcase that they were 12 months out from release, and we were ticking closer to June, so I think everyone kind of knew that this wasn't going to happen. But the official tweet said, "We had planned to release in the first half of 2023, but development is still continuing," Team Cherry marketing and publishing spokesperson Matthew Griffin wrote. And I hate it because I really want to play Silksong, but if they need more time to polish the game, get it running as they need to, all for it. I don't know exactly how long it took them to make the original Hollow Knight, but if they're adding on to it and making a bigger world and a more expansive game, I'm all for it. And I fear, though, that the anticipation is kind of growing. I'm hoping, however, that people aren't like kind of do the best to kind of ignore the fact that Hollow Knight Silksong is in production. Play things like Tears of the Kingdom, play Street Fighter 6, play Starfield, play something else to keep your mind off of it. That way you don't drive yourself crazy. Alright, some really quick but kind of really cool news. We got a teaser last week of like Mortal Kombat 12 coming into development. They did drop another kind of teaser that showed them skip from 11 to 1, completely missing 12. And I'm a huge fanatic for like Mortal Kombat lore. So what I assume and what I'm taking this as, I think a lot of people are taking this as, okay, they're redoing like Mortal Kombat 1. Or they're going to do like what they did back in Mortal Kombat 9 and kind of reverse time. I think this time, if you've played the end of Aftermath, if you played the Liu Kang ending, it shows Liu Kang going way back in time to the original Kung Lao. Not the Kung Lao with the hat that we know, but the original one that died fighting Goro years ago. I think they're going way back then. I think they're going back to a time when the tournament of Mortal Kombat began, and Liu Kang is going to choose and mentor kind of the OG Kung Lao. So expect a lot of brand new characters that we've never seen. Probably some kind of ancestors to some of people that you're familiar with. But overall, if you like Mortal Kombat, expect some crazy, wacky hijinks as far as like time travel and stuff like that. And I'm just very hyped for Mortal Kombat 12. Alright, our final news topic is a good one. I always like to end things off on kind of a high note. And if you're a fan of indie games, if you're a fan of Devolver Digital as a publisher, they are holding another Devolver kind of marketing showcase in Summer Games Fest this year, sometime in June. They didn't give a specific date, but they know it's sometime in June. And if you guys haven't seen kind of a Devolver Digital showcase, they're weird and kind of quirky, and I don't always exactly understand the jokes that they're saying, but it's very interesting to watch, and they just kind of hit you really fast with a bunch of really cool, exciting games. Some things you don't go with, some things you do really like, but I'm very excited to see some kind of like updates on some of the things we saw in the last one, like Plucky Squire. But yeah, I'm just very excited. I definitely love more showcases, especially from Devolver Digital. Well, that does it for this week of crazy news as far as video games are concerned. But what are you guys doing? Go play Tears of the Kingdom. Why are you watching this video? Come back later. I'm gonna go play some Tears of the Kingdom. Catch some more vids of Tears of the Kingdom on this channel if you guys are interested. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next video.